All right, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to the center of attention. My brother's a father now, my big brother, best friend in the whole world. I went down to the baptism a couple months ago, and we were at the after party. Is that what you call it? I don't know. And I watched my brother holding this little 3-month-old beautiful baby girl, and she's got these little tiny fingers holding on to his hands and these big blue eyes looking up at him, and I just wanted to take her and hold her in my arms and say, "You are so sweet. You see that man right there? That man who's half in charge of your life? He once gave me a cup of tea and told me it was apple juice." You watch your back, little girl. There's a strict no cell phone policy at the gym that I go to. No cell phones. There's a guy that actually got around the rule by changing his ringtone to a grunt. It's actually kind of ingenious. Whenever his phone rings, go. I couldn't do that. I couldn't get away with it because it would always, like, coincidentally just happen right when I'm picking up a 5-pound weight. I was hanging out with a buddy of mine here in New York. He's from Los Angeles. He came and visited for a few days. He says, dude, hot chicks, 1 o'clock. And I looked to see 3 very large transvestites. Then it occurred to me, he is still on Pacific Coast time. Girls at 4 o'clock. We're very cute. All right, let's get this show moving, folks. Ready to have a good time today, are you?
How many people in here are into snuff films? Me and the other host of the show. Now, how many people like Shark Week? Exactly. All right. My point is that you're just not sophisticated enough to like a true snuff film. You like it put through that prism of the Discovery Channel, like where there's, you know, we dump you in the water and then it's okay to watch a human being. They had, honest to God, this year on Shark Week, they had top 5 eaten alive. That was the name of the show. Top 5 eaten alive. You know how many shark attacks cause deaths each year? 4. That's like asking somebody, hey, who's your favorite Rice Krispies mascot? Well, there's Snap, Crackle, Pop, and then, well, who's the other 4th one? I'm not sure. I'll tell you this. The thing that makes me even less, like, if you watch, you realize, like, you know, they don't actually show people who die. They bring these poor bastards back onto the show, and then they put them on Mythbusters to be like, this is how your leg actually got chewed off. And then they have those jaws, like, hit it and go, is that what it was like? And they're like, yeah, thanks for making me relive that shit. Thanks. I appreciate that. But they have, like, top shark attacks, which makes me feel like, okay, yeah, there are probably 60 shark attacks worldwide every year. Which means, to show the top 10, or however many you get it down to, you had to make cuts. Somebody's shark attack story wasn't interesting enough for you. How many of you people here have ever said the sentence, yeah, I guess that shark attack story was alright? No! Not only was the greatest shark attack story you ever heard, it's the only shark attack story you ever heard. There isn't any way to differentiate between that. So these guys actually have to sit there in a room and listen to somebody's shark attack story and go, I don't know. I'm 34 years old. I feel like my entire life, my job, everything got f***ed by the 80s. I feel the 80s ruined everything, and it's still... I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but like nobody gave a shit about my teenage years, the 90s. Is anybody throwing 90s parties? You see the DJ spinning any Jesus Jones? No, you don't see that. It was a lame decade. It was a lost, lame decade. Nobody wears the parachute pants to be funny, like Hammer. Nobody does that. The 80s were where it's at, but they used up all the fun. I'm a stand-up comic. I'm still performing in the back of a bar after 7 years of doing this. Back then in the 80s, all you needed was like 10 minutes of airplane material and a headshot that looked like this. Don't show me your f***ing iPhone. I don't want to see your apps. I don't give a shit what you downloaded. I don't care if the game is cool, and I don't care how cheap the app was. I'm sick and tired. I have a BlackBerry. I can't get out of my Verizon plan. Sorry, all right? I don't want to hear about your iPhone app. I don't want to hear about how cool it is, because most of these things suck. And they just think that they're cool because it's on the touch screen. Honest to God, last week my friend is sitting there, he's scanning through, he goes, check it out, seamless web app. Yeah, I got it, dude. That way when I'm done with the game, I'm on my way home, I'm gonna watch the 4 o'clock game, I just do the seamless web thing, the wings and the pizza, they're at my house when I get there out of the cab. Awesome. Let me get this straight. You ordered a pizza with your phone.